With the Monarch of the Floral Fields down, I had my eyes set on the next target. Though, after the experience of the last fight, I knew I had to change things up a bit. It's time to improve. It's time to let the flames engulf everything. I must let this inferno rage across this land. Conquering these pathetic flowers isn't enough for me. I need more. I need strength. Let the flames light flicker in my eyes. This is just the start of something great. My ancestor, he smiles upon me. His unbound power will soon become— Stop. This hellish curse, it's not worth it. You can be a trailblazer of the new path, but don't bind yourself in such a devilish contract. Be free from these binds. Your strength lies in something far greater than myself. Welcome back to Voxlblade Weaponless, a series where I try to beat every single boss without ever equipping my weapon completely solo. Without holding you folks any further, welcome to the 5th episode of this absolute horrible hellscape. After the completion of the Bumble's Hive under my belt, I realized that my DPS was mid as hell. Mageling gloves just would not cut it, and neither would my gear. So I spent literal hours of my life farming bunnies to get my crafting level up for SP, as well as crafting binding orbs for my infusions. What I would pick for my infusions was a difficult choice, as I wanted as much damage as possible, but I was also incredibly poor. Eventually, I decided that infusing my Ember Mage armor would be the right choice, as I had already had 2/3 of the pieces just lying around in my inventory, as well as its perk being useful for my future plans. Now that I had my infusions in place and I had obtained the SP necessary for success, I swapped out my Mageling gloves for Dragator gloves and felt way more powerful than ever. I wanted to try this out on the Swamp Void Rift that I left behind so long ago. Of course, I assumed I was going to be victorious, as my previous attempts a while back had some promise. However, I was gravely mistaken. After the 3rd attempt, I was realizing that this task was much larger than I thought, and after my 5th attempt, it was looking even worse than before, but why? Well, let's take a look at DOT damage numbers and their major inconsistencies. What I like to call the really annoying number deviation of Marinara? This extra random tick gave me more damage, yes, but it was also why some of my runs were feeling much better than previous runs, despite the fact that my gear and strategies had barely changed. Because of this knowledge, my next plan of action was to snag up some Curse Flame gear. The hardest part of the Void Rifts were the god-awful Dragagators that I have no previous hatred towards at all. Literally zero. The reason behind this is the massive amount of fire defense that Dragagators have. 300% defense is nothing to scoff at, and so the hex damage that the Curse Flame armor gives me, while ultimately decreasing the damage I deal per fireball, massively increases my chances of beating the final Dragator in the Void Rifts. Last thing I wanted to do was that last infusion. As stated previously, I only had 2 of the 3 Ember Mage pieces that I needed for my infusions, and because I didn't have that last one, I decided to infuse a Dragator chestplate. Another fun fact while we're here is the fact that out of now 4 Void Moons that I've gotten during the slot's lifespan, I've only gotten 2 binded corruptions from them. The other 2 were obtained from just random corrupt mobs in the forest. I also didn't cover this, but I accidentally infused civilian chestplate, so I had to get another binded, which is why I'm saying 4 instead of 3. But we can ignore that. Now that I was more ready than ever, I readied myself one last time and started the rift. So we're gonna see if I can do this now. This will be a major test if I can reliably one-tap Gremlinancers. Yep, there we go. Damn, I get Dragator Essence so fast. Or not Essence, Spirit. Okay, so that's the duality of my damage, with a tick happening early and late. Still having the 2-shot Toad Zerkers, I feel like optimally, my fireballs would have to be one-tapping. Okay, here we go. Just slide forward and beam. First fireball. Can't tell if that's promising. It's gonna be like 6 or so. It's gonna hit me. Fuck. Okay, we're good. Barely no knockback. Let's see if I can. No, we're good. Okay. Okay, that's suboptimal. I mean, the damage I'm taking doesn't entirely matter. As long as I'm hitting these. 30 seconds. 30 seconds almost dead. Hold on. Normally I get there at like 20. Throw those in. Kick. I guess tail whip. 18 seconds, and I've got probably one more fireball left. Please, I'm begging. Oh my god, please count. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness gracious. Pip. Pip, it's you, my friend. I've done it. Oh. So yeah, now that I was able to do this, I was confident in my abilities, and I decided that I was ready for the next real challenge of this run. The Lord Frog Dungeon. The Cursed Flame gear will come in handy now that I have it, and having my infusions completely done is a massive step of progress, so I think I have what it takes to reliably fight the entire dungeon now. The reason I wanted to be so over-prepared, and I'm doing this after the Bumble's Hive, is the fact that I'm completely out of healing potions. That's basically it. I will likely have to do the entire dungeon, taking as little damage as possible and healing from the passive HP gained in between waves. But that will have to wait for another day. And until then, I love you all, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. See you all next week.